or it's like wrapping a Christmas present, and there's already a tear in the Christmas present, and you can already see that it's a freaking new Alexa or like a new speaker. You know what I'm saying? Yes, t-shirt from Spencer's. Yes. I couldn't think of anything else. That's the first thing that came to my mind. T-shirt from Spencer's. Big shoutouts to all current Gloving Academy Patreon subscribers. Here they are. Thank you so much for all the support. Seriously, guys. The Patreon's got weekly educational and never-before-seen content, so if you want to take your gloving to the next level and learn from me, come join the Gloving Academy Patreon.
I'm a monster, that's what she said, not a doctor, but something's wrong in my head. I'm faded to numb my pain, a heart made of stone.
Really good intro so far. Good pacing.
Where does my mind go? How did I lose hope? Which road do I follow? When will I know who controls my
buttery smooth?
How do I escape? What if it's too late? And worst of all, the sky could fall.
I see no execution errors at all. Here comes the drop. So the DB got that depth cut there. Oh, saw something there.
And worst of all, the sky could fall, and I wouldn't notice till it was
This is immaculate pacing.
Can't find my way. Am I to blame? Can't bear this way. Now I'm my brain.
Damn, dude, I wish. Oh man, I wish he went another drop, bro. Like, I wish he did another drop, dude. Like, I felt. Oh man, what are the rule sets for pits? Is there like a time limit? Like, are like people like, yeah, 2 minutes, let's go. That was super clean. Like, the fact that it's really hard for me to really spot out any execution errors is a really good thing. Usually when I'm silent and I'm like watching, it's like I'm paying attention to the execution more so than like musicality and stuff. However, I saw 2 execution errors. I believe 2 execution errors. Let's rewatch this one more time.
I'm a monster. That's what she said.
I really love how Danny is close to the camera. This is a veteran move. Like, because a lot of the time people will like start off their show too far and then they'll just stay too far. But Danny's pretty good with working the camera.
Not a doctor, but something's wrong in my head. I'm faded.
Yeah, good showmanship here. I feel like the showmanship gets lost later on. I think that it's really easy to do all like the miming stuff or lyricality, I guess you can say, and then trying to keep that within gloving, right? I feel like if you do that, like, you have to keep it consistent. But I mean, given were there even lyrics? I'm gonna have to rewatch if it was even lyrics. There's a point of it where it's kind of like, it's like cheating, you know what I mean? It's like you gotta translate that to like gloving somehow. And Danny's been gloving for a really long time, no? I think he's like a decade plus in. Does anyone know how long Danny's been gloving for? Cause I feel like okay, so if you guys don't know Danny, he's very fundamentally sound. And I think once you hit like the decade mark, I'm looking, me specifically, this is super biased, but like I'm looking for like APM. I'm looking for like actions per minute. I'm looking for like longevity of combos. I'm like looking to see if like you're breaking off of combos or if you're able to live within your combo for like a really long time, because I think that is like one of the tall tell? What the frick is it saying, bro? It's one of the telling signs that someone is like at that high caliber, you know? Over 10 years? Oh, seriously, for 4 years. Okay. Still, it's like he has the execution of someone 10 years. 4 years in terms of like the longevity between his combos, that kind of makes sense.
How did I lose hope? Which road do I follow? When will I know who controls my fate?
Like, look at this. This is... I can't say anything at these parts. Really good musicality there, hitting it. Look at that one more time. That's freaking dope. He like went into like a thumb trace and then out. And I think that is a very underused concept in gloving. This trace to the side here, that exists within everything. Like even here, or like maybe even tracing the top of your pointer, or like even tracing like with your thumb, the bottom of your fingers here. I mean, I may not have the dexterity to do it. Just tracing with your thumb like that. Look at that. Like testing your range of movement. Tracing up like a button. Or like tracing the side. Just one-handed stuff. Oh, that looks kind of... That actually looks way... that looks pretty wrong, bro. It's because I have the thumbs on the bottom, dude. Like, that just doesn't look good. You know what I mean? Like, that looks funny. That looks wonky, right? I can't keep doing that move. But, like, yeah. Thumb usage is one of the telling signs of someone who's very high skill level. Like, the utilization... Like, the unique utilization of thumbs. His logic here is pretty good, too. Like, if you pay attention to the logic of his moves... Okay, so from down here, he's tracing the side of his finger. He's tracing and committing all the way down. Like, I love that he commits this angle. Like you'll usually see glovers, like, they'll like, trace down like this, okay? They'll, like, trace down like this, but they won't trace that bottom part of their finger. They'll just trace down and then like just kind of go into it like that, you know what I mean? So he's very careful with his logic, and I think that's one of the strongest points of Danny. Yeah, very symmetrical here. This is an interesting setup here, because it's like the drop's about to happen. You can kind of see him he catches his thumb here. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of an awkward movement where like, You see how his thumb kind of just goes down there? Because he knows that he's in this angle. But, I don't know, it just felt very off-putting. But it's interesting to see a setup from a tech form and then from to the drop. You know what I'm saying? That position would look better with thumbs top. Yeah, I'm not worried about the positioning. It's just odd that like the drop is about to happen and you do your setup, but it's a form, because the drop's about to happen and then like what you're gonna continue your tech sequence, right? Typically, rather than coming back to like a neutral symmetry and then doing the drop, then go into your tech. Like, it's like, no, like he does a setup with his form and then he goes. I think it's a bit weird. And I don't know if it's strong for the drop. Let's see. I forgot what he does at the drop. Let's watch the drop. Yeah, he continues the tech. You know what I mean? So like the overall contrast from setup to drop is not nearly as impactful. You know, it's like let's for example, I'm gonna right compared to like if I were to do. You see what I'm saying? It's like the form to the same form during the drop is not as impactful as a reset point into doing your tech sequences at the drop. That's my opinion on it. There's no acknowledgement of the drop. Yes, there's no acknowledgement of the drop, or there's like it's like a ribbon to the drop. You know what I mean? It's like you want to package the drop in like this way where it's like boom, rather than it's kind of like if you open your Christmas present and like you peek into the inside of your Christmas present and you can kind of already see that it's a t-shirt from like Spencer's or something. You know what I mean? It's like open up a little bit, you can kind of already see the t-shirt. So by the time you open up the present, or it's like wrapping a Christmas present, and there's already a tear in the Christmas present, and you can already see that it's a freaking new Alexa or like a new speaker. You know what I'm saying? Yes, t-shirt from Spencer's. Yes. I couldn't think of anything else. That's the first thing that came to my mind. T-shirt from Spencer's. That drop is a Spencer's t-shirt. So it's like, okay. Let's go back. It's like at this point here. Okay. All right. I see the form. I see what you're gonna do. What's gonna happen at the drop? Ah, I see. It's not like whoa, mind fuck, you know. So that could play a little bit into like just. There's a wow factor, right? There are wow factors in gloving, and I think that's one of them. It's resetting into like a completely neutral pose and then just doing something totally that's not neutral. I think a level beyond this is traveling. Because he's very centered. He's very centered and it's very clean. It's very nice to the camera. But like, what's good, Jason? But like, okay, so like if you're like traveling with your grid and you're more active, especially with like stuff like platforming, right? I think it's a much higher level than kind of like staying in frame. You know what I mean? Like staying centered, rather. Staying centered in frame. Like, I think that there is a complexity in traveling with your tech compared to doing your platform straight center and then that's it. You know what I'm saying? So there's not a lot of traveling here. There's a little bit of... It's very centered, but there's no traveling. Let's watch that one up. I love that pickup. You saw that pickup? He goes into like these little pass-throughs, right? Oh no, yeah. And then like he'll pick up at one of the digits. He'll pick up here. Oh. He picks up this finger. This little finger, that pickup. Okay, so this is super advanced, but this is like super advanced, okay? So if you pay it, like his hands are floating. You see what I'm saying? Like pay attention to his hands. It's like moving. It's slowly moving to the left of the screen. I think it would be freaking high caliber, okay? Like if he wasn't floating, and he picked up at the and used that as an isolation point. You see what I'm saying? Like, oh, fuck, dude, my left hand is so crippled. It's so hard to do. Like, if he does stuff like this, he has to like not float. But that's hard. Look at that. I'm floating just by clashing my fingers. But that's why it's high caliber, right? If he just stayed there, not float, then picked up, and then isolation point. My hand is so crippled right now. That was such a bad... But you know what I mean? Isolation point rather than like floating isolation point. But that's tough. Because look at this isolation point here. It's like, it's here. It's where my mouse is. I'm not gonna move my mouse. You see my mouse? That's the isolation point. But look where he lands when he ices it up. It's up here now. It's up here. So the isolation point could have been down here. And that's more gritty. You know what I mean? I'm looking for more gritty. Something that's like incredibly high caliber is more gritty. Yeah, there's actually a lot of floating in Danny's shows now that I'm looking at it. I think that's one of the biggest things that Danny's work. It's like he has all the connections. He has like these insane levels of like precision and connections, but he's not traveling because there's not more of a macro grid work, you know? He needs to be able to like travel up and then like travel in like a Z axis, but like keep that center focal area, you know? Little thing here. When he goes into this pinch, good pinch, good form. Look at the area of where he pinched on. He didn't mean to do this. He meant to do this. On point. Point to point accuracy. He's point to like the second knuckle, right? And then that's not as clean as when it's point to point. Point to point accuracy. Wait, so he pinches there. Interesting. He'll like pinch this thumb, but he pinches it in the middle. Is he trying to do this? Like that? Or is he trying to like do something like that? It's really hard to tell. Okay, look at this one. This is the mistake that I saw earlier. So he'll do like, he does these like little poke throughs, right? Super poke through, right? He misses. He poked once. Poke twice. Look at that! He didn't do the pinky, bro. He didn't do the pinky. We caught you, Daddy. You gotta take care of this one, man. This one is an easy one. That one is easy, you know? He's got two things happening in his mind. This might be a very common reset that he does. Poke, 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 boom. Right? I caught you. You caught the dish. Dude, you caught my dish and roll, bro. I caught you. We caught each other. This was a little bit of an awkward reposition here. It's like that. You saw that? You saw that little brief moment in your right here. But I think what happens there? So I'm reversing. So you're doing the circle move. Okay. Okay, nice whip. Interesting. It's okay, I see. It's an interesting change of momentum because you're swaying clockwise. But it's this, yeah, it's this hand, I think it's just this hand position that makes it look awkward. There's a little bit of a speed hiccup there. That's not that big of a deal. Yeah, pacing here is really good again. We're like doing more tech. Okay, this is a very common, I don't want to say how do I say how do I describe this move? It's a very easy out, and that is this flail stack thing. Like you could do that in anything. So I actually use that as a crutch. I remember back in 2015 where I'm like that. I'm just using that as kind of like a transition. There's something odd about it though, like cause I know that I use it as a crutch. I know you may not, but that just, it's so easy to just do that flip as a crutch. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if you actually do it multiple times, but I would watch out for it because it's easy to become a crutch for that this movement here. I see a lot of people who do tech. They'll do that. They'll do this, and then it's kind of like an opt out to go into like another platform or something. Okay, high technical sequence, right? This is probably your most technical sequence in the show. And then out of it already. You know what I mean? And then you're out. It's like watching the ending of an Attack on Titan episode. Some crazy shit happens in the end, and then it's like freaking next episode. Like, oh, to be continued, you know what I'm saying? And then so like you have to think it is a cliffhanger. Yeah, it's a cliffhanger. Yeah, like I don't know if you did you win this bit or did you like lose this bit? Because this plays a huge factor in the overall like the feeling that you get as like I feel like as a judge. Because it's like you want to leave like a big impact at the end. You know what I mean? And so your strategy for like song selection, like you could have ended at 140 and you wouldn't have this kind of weird cliffhanger, right? You could have ended like right at the end. I mean, not you could have ended right at the end. You could have ended after this drop and it would have been stronger, in my opinion. And boom! Oh no, I have to look at here. Cliffhangers are not good for light shows. I think it depends. Like there, you could have ended right there. And then you could have done this sequence combined with a little bit of what you had in the beginning. And then like, I think you would have scored better. Let's say if it was like, I would have scored you better on like a storytelling. Let's say if it was a scorecard or something. I personally would have judged you better if you ended here compared to if you had done this part. This last part is a trap, right? I think it depends on the song. I think cliffhangers, it depends on the song, but then I don't think it worked well with this song. And so yeah, I think Danny, I think for the most part, it's got to be longevity and combinations if you really just want to reach that higher caliber. Stop floating. That's a lifelong venture. And take care of even the easier moves. Because I feel like the moves that you messed up shouldn't be the moves that you messed up. You know what I mean? It's super easy moves. If you're looking for whites, batteries, skins, or any other gloving accessory, head on over to glow-leds.com and don't forget to use my code AlohaNation for 10% off. Join the Gloving Academy Discord. Here you can share light shows and lab with other glovers from all around the world. We have an awesome community dedicated to helping each other improve. This is the only place in gloving where you can get rewarded with free gloving gear just by being active and participating in public events happening every month. I have already given out a handful of recharge packs, and all you have to do is be active within the Discord. We've got workshops, concept labs, competitions, and a growing library of free resources available no matter what skill level you are. And if you would like for me to do a frame-by-frame video of your light show, you can submit your video on the Discord. We're only going to get bigger and better from here, so follow the link in the description to join.